Boom, we are alive, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. This is Tio and the Arcane Bear. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what is going on with the Bitcoin price. And one of the things I want to tell you is that patience is extremely important. Now, all new investors are going to show up to the market and wonder, how quickly can I become a millionaire? I've seen everybody else do it. What can I do to ensure that outcome? And during this process, a lot of what people try to do is outsmart the market. Now, first off, the market is older than you are, right? Markets and speculation have been around longer than you have been alive, and they will exist long after your body withers and dies well beneath the growth of the earth, getting eaten by whatever happens to be there. Mushrooms, let's say. So, if you think in your short little lifespan that you can outsmart the thing that's taken multiple times longer than your life, you're probably making a mistake. And I think I actually see a lot of people do this in the ocean. Now, I live right by the jungle, and the jungle ocean is a very powerful thing. And a lot of people show up to the ocean coming from the city thinking, oh, look at this wonderful, beautiful blue ocean thing that has waves. And you know what happens? These almost always inherently die going out into the waves. As a matter of fact, when I first moved to Costa Rica, there were no lifeguards and people were dying every weekend because they underestimate the power of the waves. And I think a lot of people underestimate the power of the waves of the market and think, oh, this is just going to be super easy. I'm going to show up out of nowhere and I'm going to be able to navigate this thing, again, multiple times older than I am, and I'm going to come out ahead. Now, this is a very arrogant thought process. Going out into the ocean and thinking, hey, I'm going to beat these waves, you will always lose. There's no stopping those ocean waves. But what you can do, if you are smart about it, is you can watch the waves. And you can take note of what they do, how they act, and what you can do to best allow that wave to propel you to where it is you want to go. So instead of trying to beat the ocean or the market, it's best to allow the market to take you where you want to go. Markets are actually really good at doing this. There is a book I have suggested multiple times. It is called 100 Baggers by Christian Mayer. It's a fantastic book that shows the last 100 years of data of stock markets and which companies have performed extraordinarily well, over 100x, and how long it took for those 100x's to take place. So that basically means for every $10,000 you put in, you're walking away with $1 million. So a $10,000 investment equals $1 million. That's what 100x is. Now, how long do those take? On average in the book 100x or 100 Baggers, you're looking somewhere between 3 to 15 years, depending on the process. One of the also really unique, interesting parts about this is it also says that just having invested was actually the best route to success. Too many times people see the up and then the down and think, oh, if I had sold here, I could buy back here, and I would have twice as many assets. And normally what happens is it goes up here, it starts to go down, they sell here, and then they never buy back in. And before you know it, the market is 3 times higher than where it is that you sold. There's a fantastic article that we use all the time as a reference point. It's called The Best Investors Are Dead. And there's a reason for that. Buying right and sitting tight is a modality that allows the wave and the momentum of the market to take you to where you want to go. It is one of the reasons why the thesis behind our treasury is Wu Wei. I don't need to put a lot of effort in for the market to do anything. In fact, the least effort-filled practice in the market by just accumulating is the most effective. It results in the highest ROI and the biggest yields, well, taking the least amount of effort from you. Whereas I've seen many investors who think that they're going to become great day traders. They think that this up and down market cycle is easy. And the reason why so many people fail is because the market, its waves that you want to ride, have learned how to take advantage of people just like you, thinking to themselves, I'm going to outsmart this market. But the problem is it's not a logical decision. It's an emotional one. You are emotional about the capital that you have invested, and therefore you end up making really poor decisions. When again, the easiest, most effective route would be to just buy and accumulate and hold. Now again, this is what washes most people out of the markets. Rewind all the way back to 2013 when Bitcoin was around, let's say, that $90 to $1,000 mark went from $90 to $1,000, $1,000 back to $200. And then we spent about 2 years accumulating between the ranges of $200 to $600 before going to $20,000. And you might think to yourself, well, if I had bought here and sold here and bought back here and resold here and bought back here, I would have made so much of a larger percentage. But I guarantee you, all the people who were trading those did nowhere near as well as a person just went, I'm just going to buy. In effect, the reason why so many people are unsuccessful in the market and think it's like gambling is because they do not understand the macro picture of the waves being designed to taking advantage of your human emotions. Your inability to see the macro picture and get washed around by all this movement in price. 90% of the people who fail in the markets because they think that they can overpower the ocean. You cannot. You might be able to join in that ride, and this is why we suggest a very simple strategy. One of the most important parts of becoming a good investor is patience and making good investments. Now, again, the reason why I think it's so important is because of this. Here we are, right? Look at what Michael Saylor has been doing. Michael Saylor has been doing nothing but buying. And there's a fantastic strategy behind this idea. So here's the $60,000 previous top. We've come back down. We've been following along this nice regression line, and we haven't broken out of it yet. But as soon as we break above this white regression line, we're going to be going upwards. Now, you could say, Tio, are we going to go down? Well, great. You know what that means? It means an even better price for the assets that I'd be trying to get my hands on. And same with all the other investors. You need to change your perspective. Don't think to yourself, oh my God, if I had as much money as Michael Saylor, I would just keep buying Bitcoin. Think to yourself, maybe the guy who has an enormous amount more money than I do actually knows how to do this properly. And this idea of just buying, whether it's a market cycle high or a market cycle low, is really the better idea. And that's the fact. The reason why Michael Saylor is successful is because he's doing it correctly. You trying to outpace the markets will end up failing 90% of the time, unless you got lucky. And it's not worth betting on that luck. It's better to bet on the long-term evolution of markets, knowing that governments have done the same thing throughout time, destroyed the fiat currencies because they keep promising free shit to their constituents. And at the end of the day, free shit will always end up looking like inflation, no matter where you are. Where I am in Costa Rica right now, that inflation is 50% higher than it was when I first moved here. The dollars that I bring into this country buys 50% more than it did just 8 years ago. All currencies are on this same directive path. They will all fail. There is nothing backing them other than the strength and confidence of the hallucination of the individuals who think that those governments have any ability to pay those people back. They don't! So keep that in mind while you're investing, and understand that the reason why Michael Saylor has been able to make so much money is because he's following the proper thesis. Don't think that you can outsmart the market. Ride the waves. And if you think you can overpower the waves, I've seen a lot of people drown and die. So anyways, keep it at that. It's the Tio with the Arcane Bear, not to leave you on such a grim sentiment, but a lot of you will get washed out by the waves if you do not if you do not understand that the waves are more powerful than you, and the best thing to do is just learn how to ride them by getting on the wave. Anyways, don't get washed out by the market cycle up and down, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best form of advice I can give you right now. A bunch of fun stuff coming up over the coming weeks. Got some great venture capital investments to make. Got some great podcasts coming up. I'm going to be on the road, so you're going to see a bunch more of these videos of me talking and looking at charts. Again, I see a huge case for a bull scenario in the coming month. Probably spend about a month accumulating at this range and then going right back to where we were and to infinity and beyond, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tio with the Arcane Bear. Give us a thumbs up if you like this content. If you're a fan of the channel and have not yet subscribed yet, do it. Do it right now. Well, this eye. Do it right now. This is Tio with the Arcane Bear. See you guys on the other side.